Ritam kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadatatam Bhuvi Grinanti Ye Buridayanaha Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, your gospel is like nectar and bliss, showered upon the pain-stricken lives of suffering humanity. It dispels all the sins and misdeeds of life. It brings spiritual welfare in life. The spiritual beauty, prosperity, and grace spreads through and through one who listens to your holy message. They are the real givers in the world who preach and pronounce the nectar of your divine message to the suffering humanity. Om peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So Sri Ramakrishna was, we are continuing the discussion on February 25, 1885, Wednesday, and page 701. And Sri Ramakrishna the other day said that looking upon woman as mother is like fasting on the Ekadosi day without touching even a drop of water. In this attitude, there is not the slightest trace of sensual enjoyment. Meaning, a spiritual life is a life of purity, and how that can be achieved, Sri Ramakrishna is guiding that and talking about that goal, how to achieve. But there are two different paths, one for the monks, another for the householders who are in the life, in the world. So everyone will reach God, but their principles are different. One who is dedicated totally for God, means taken the path of monk, monastic life, there will be one. But those who live in the world, there will be another. So that's why he's saying that even those who are living in the world, if they look upon woman as mother, if they can do that, then their mind will go beyond this sense idea. So one can also observe, that means we are talking about Ekadosi. Ekadosi means a day of fasting. Oh, you all do. Many of you are doing now Ekadosi. Meaning that day you don't eat. Huh? And you are supposed to be fasting whole day. But there are different types of Ekadosi. Some do not a drop of water. That's the pure Ekadasi. That Ekadasi he is guiding here, that should be in this way, that when one is looking upon every woman as mother, that attitude is a pure attitude. And that is a pure Ekadasi. That means not tasting anything of the sense enjoyments, no? In a divine level. And there are other Ekadasis also. Taking some fruits, that's also another Ekadasi. There is a today is Ekadasi, I don't take rice, but I can take some flour. So they call luchi. Luchi, no? Luchi. What bread? Puri, luchi, whatever. That's a bread made of flour. Fried. And then fried. And with little potato and little sweets. That's okay. That's my Ekadasi. So that's also meaning they cannot do that much total without a drop of water. That's the best. And they are really doing Ekadosi. But next best is that, okay, take some fruits at the end of the day. Or at least drink some water. Some will not drink water even. So he's talking about the different grades are there. People say that all are doing Ekadosi also. So according to one's health condition, mental condition, they can adjust. But that is the condition, means one's capability. One can do Ekadasi without drinking a drop of water. It's one type. Sri Ramakrishna said that is the idea, those people following the spiritual path and getting away of the lustful ideas by looking upon men folks, the women, as mother, divine mother. For the men, women looking upon the male folk as God or as what you call the father or brother. So this attitude. So this attitude is a purer attitude. And that is Ekadosi without a drop of water. And that is another way of observing Ekadosi, we read the other day, allows taking up fruits and the like, little fruits at the end of the day or sometime. As much is the capacity. Other cannot do that, okay, let them do that. One can also observe the day by eating luchis and curries. But what my attitude, Ramakrishna said, my attitude is not to touch even a drop of water while I observe the fast. So I worshipped Surasi as mother. He worshipped Ma Sarada as the divine mother. I looked on all parts of her body as those of my own mother. This attitude of regarding God as mother is the last word in sadhana. O God, thou art my mother, I am thy child. This is the last word in spirituality. That's the renunciation, is perfect renunciation. Perfect renunciation, why? You are there, but you have sublimated your attitude of thinking. Which the people go thinking about the lustfully or bringing the mind into the body level. Now, this attitude of serving, seeing mother in all is a divine attitude, that's why. And he said, it is my attitude. There should not be any touch of any worldliness there. So this is the greatest. That's why he said renunciation is the highest there, where there is no touch of any worldliness and worldly attachment, worldly enjoyment. Because why? Because if one can enjoy in a spiritual plane, then why he will come down to the lower plane? Yeah, as you go higher, your joy is much higher and refined and pure and purer. Those who cannot, they go to the next step. They go to the next step. So that's why this is the Sri Ramakrishna's idea, for he says about himself. For me, myself, that I looked upon all parts of her body as those of my mother. See, that means Ramakrishna does not see anything but Divine Mother. So this attitude is the purest attitude. And this is the end of all sadhana, last word. That means one who can see the Divine Mother everywhere, that means he has accomplished the goal of spiritual life. But when it comes down to another level, this is another level of student. That the renunciation is there, but not up to that grade of Sri Ramakrishna, what he means. And then there is gradation. So even tantrics are there. Left-handed tantra is there. They use sex for sublimating their mind. But how many people are strong there to do that and keep the mind in the higher level? So many people fall. So that's why it is said that my path means this, my means Ramakrishna path, means our path. We the devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, our path is the pure path. To look upon every woman as mother, look upon every man as father or my brother, elder brother, or some such sweet and respectful, loving relationship. Now, the sannyasi's way of living is like observing the Ekadosi fast without taking even a drop of water. Already we have discussed that. The monk should you have to accepted the path of monastic life. So if you accept that life as a monk, then you should have to fast totally, no drop of water. That's why it is said that monk's life is very difficult path. Because it is walking on the razor's edge. It is said, Kshurasya dhara, Upanishad says, Kshurasya dhara nishita, Durgam pathastat kavayo vadanti. Kavayo means the Kobi, the saint, the seers of truth. What they say? This path is Shurasudhara. It's like walking on a razor. Think about, there is a razor, sharp blade, and one is walking over that. Yes, you can do that. You have to be proficient in that, in such a way, and very attentive. You know, you go into the circus, and in other areas they show so many feats. Can you think of doing that yourself? No. But they have practiced and did it. So this spiritual life is like walking on the razor's edge. Just serpent. It is before the early days, the barbers used to do that. With their razor, they used to rub on a stone, like that, like that, like that. That means making much sharper. And then go on, you're doing the shaving and other things. So it is, this razor is just serpent. And it is walk. So Kshura Sadhara, the life of a monastic or monk's dedicated life would be like that. But you are not to be little inadvertent. Inadvertence will make you fall from the goal. So be careful. That's the monastic life, is to not a drop of water. And you are fasting whole day. 24 hours fasting. Normally some fast did morning to evening. But Shiva night fasting is that you start from morning, the whole night till the morning comes, 24 hours total. Then you're Kali Puja also. So any fasting for any deity in Indian tradition, that is, and particularly Shiva night. You know, my guru was Shankarananda Maharaj, and he was born on the Shiva night. So when his devotees used to say, Maharaj, we want to celebrate birthday. Celebrate birthday, other time you bring cake and sweets and food, no? Birthday celebration means what? It's a feast. And he said, oh, you want to celebrate? Okay. Then today you have to fast. No water. Not morning, it whole day. Whole day is gone, whole night. And you can't sleep. That is observing my birthday. He used to say, you observe my birthday means you have to be fasting totally, no water even, and whole night be awake. How to awake? Do japa. You want to celebrate my birthday? Feast Rasagullah. No such thing. That means that is called the pure celebration of fasting. And that
people fast after breakfast.
After breakfast, next day. 24 hours past, then you can do. But anyhow, in spiritual life also, spiritual life fasting means it is not fasting, it is strengthening. You know, those who do Ekadosi, you all know, fasting, you know how you feel energy afterwards. When you do, you feel little, it is good, stomach say, a little better to eat something, no? But if you can survive, then at the end you feel how you feel fresh. No? You have not eaten anything, but you feel the energy, fresh energy. So spiritual life also. Apparently, if one does not indulge into the sensate experiences, this gluttony of eating, enjoying the sea, all the five organs to enjoy the world. No? If monastic life should be, no, I will enjoy here itself. And if one can perform that, apparently it is little difficult. Towards the beginning it is difficult. But at the end you get the result of free, very relaxing, and your inner joy. You are so soothing. So that is the monastic life. But that need not have to be everyone's life. And not that everyone will not realize God, those who are in the household life. But for the monastics, that is. So the sannyasis or monastics' way of living is like observing the fasting of Ekadosi without taking even a drop of water. If he clings to enjoyment, then he has reason to be afraid. Lust and gold is enjoyment. So he has made a coin, these two words, lust and gold. So you can just squeeze the whole world's philosophies, what everyone wants. People are engaged into joy and bliss. But normal people into this lust and gold. One leads to the other leads to the other, and both ultimately makes a bondage. If a monk enjoys it, he's swallowing his own spittle, as it were. Ramakrishna is strong here, because now he's talking about the ideal, no? So, a monk enjoys it, if suppose one becoming a renunciate, and then goes to enjoy those sensate things, then as if you once abandon that, and again going to enjoy that, that is a departure. It is like spitting and taking that spitting again, licking that again. It's making that sense. That means you should be guarded, you should be careful. If a monk enjoys it, he is swallowing his own spittle, as it were. There are different kinds of enjoyment. Money, wealth, name, fame, sense pleasures. People can get in the world so many types of joy. But in monastic life or in spiritual life, you have to give up all these little petty things to get the bigger thing. That's why you call renunciation. Renunciation means giving up. Why you give up? Are you a fool to give up? This monastic life is not foolish life. Sometimes people say, oh, you monks, you have dedicated, you have given up so much. What we have given up? We are giving up small to get the bigger one. Everyone gives up. You give up a job of 40,000 if you get an offer of 50,000. Oh, what a great renunciate. He has given up this job of 40,000. Are 40,000 you give up, you got 60,000. 60,000 job you give up, you get 100,000. Is it a renunciation? Renunciation is not negative. Renunciation is positive. So here there is a different kinds of enjoyment. People can enjoy by making money. People can enjoy by assets, no? Car, house. You have one house, 10 houses, another house in Santa Barbara. Many rich people have their houses, you know. All the celebrities, they have one house in Paris, maybe one house in Santa Barbara up there, and one few $1 million house here and there and there. They may not go whole year, maybe for one night they may go. The whole 364 days is enjoyed by the gardener and the and the cook and the maintenance people. $1 million house, who is enjoying? But it is made by them. So, but people think, it's my house there, my resort there. So, people enjoy this way also. And then, in the name, people will be, I am a celebrity. No, my name. People can do anything for acquiring good name, or getting some praise from the people. My name came today in the newspaper. Do you know? Who am I? Are you? See, suppose tomorrow we are here. Suppose someone's name in LA Times, there 5 lines come up. What will happen? If it happens to me, then I will cut that and send it and scan it and send it to all my fans. Okay, see, I am such a man. LA Times, such and such date. And how many times are there in the world? How many magazines are there in the world? How many dailies are in US itself? Who cares? Where is one name in one paragraph? But whose name comes, he feels, oh, my dear.
Because when people share obituaries so much, or to show what? I knew that this famous person. So see,
And that's also your name comes. You are also writing some obituary for somebody. So your name is also... No, out of respect people do. That's a different thing. Attitude is the question. Attitude is the question. How you take it. How you think about that. So that may be for name or for remembrance. We honor and respect our own people. So that... But what I do for myself, I'm talking about that. There is the name. There is the fame. People spend tons of money and everything to get a good fame, good name. The picture in the public picture. So these are also different types of, and sense pleasures. So these are the different types of worldly joy. It is not good for a sannyasin to sit in close company with the devotees or even to take to heart. This injures him and others as well. Then others cannot learn from him. He cannot set an example to humanity. A sannyasin keeps his body in order to teach the mankind. He's talking about, you go to the Indian context. No, in this country, this concept is not very predominant. It is in the Catholic monasteries, there are nuns and monks there. But in India, it is much more strong. So if you find that a monk is just freely mixing with some woman, maybe devotee, but people will not like that. Even it will to go in the same car with a woman. Society is built up that way. Sannyasin means you will totally detach. Not that women are bad or men are bad or good. That's not the point. Point is that it is you have respectful distance and look upon them as a mother so that you don't fall yourself. And looking at you, people will learn what is called renunciation. That's the point. Sannyasin's God, Swamiji says, is to teach the world renunciation. In India, you go, you will be really surprised that a penniless monk wearing a gerua cloth, a highly educated person comes and touches his feet. He has no money, he has no food, he has nothing, no shelter. But that respect. But any disrespect comes when they muddle with something worldly. No? Here also in this country, how many great yogis, gurus we hear about, and sometimes something muddled up, no? So where goes our respect? That's why monk has the responsibility to set an example for renunciation. What is renunciation? Not for your purpose, but for of course your purpose. If you are matured, suppose you have a Brahmajnani, you are knower of Brahman, so you don't need anything because you have your mind is soaring high. But for the society, to give an example to the society, that behavior should be kept. Ramakrishna, an example. This is Swami Vivekananda, an example, showing that example. Not that Vivekananda didn't mix with the women of this country, but they did. But everyone is to feel that their mind is lifted and Lord Christ is with them. In the Vivekananda house, Swamiji house, Sister Lalita used to say that she used to feel the presence of Christ. See, that is another level. But for everyone, that should be. It's the same for the nuns also. Nuns should not be close to the monks or boys or any other, so that people will see what is the renunciation ideal. That is, here it is too strong words. Ramakrishna is one-sided, no? When he speaks something, he does not care whether you understand, whether you misunderstand. Because he is very simple. He thinks straight. If it is for spirituality, pure spirituality, there should be no correction of these pleasurable things in life. It is Ekadosi without a drop of water. You remember this formula, Ramakrishna's formula. Ekadosi without a drop of water. It is why? Because not only for your purpose, but for the people in the society. Look at that. How people respect in every country renunciation. Where there is some dedication, renunciation, people come and respect. In this country, maybe you say, no, it is America. No, it is not America. Why so many people go for so many Babajis, so many sadhus of different traditions? Why? Because they have the idea they are holy people. So that is the topmost ideal of the monks. That's the renunciation idea. So it says that, shall I read everything? Don't you mind? Little strong words are here. Okay? Are you ready to have it? Don't take it personally. Yeah, don't take it personally, because it is ideal. No. And we can look at ourselves. In our mind all these things come. That's why it is don't make a mess of it. Truth is truth. This is the truth. If you are a true sannyasi, you are a true nun, it should be the spirit, it should be this. No less than that. Don't pull down the ideal. Yes, ideal is there. I cannot reach that. I am trying to reach. Okay. But don't pull the ideal down to your level and justify. It's good. I am doing like that. So what he says, to sit with a woman, he's talking to a man or a monk, or talk to her long time has also been described as a kind of sexual intercourse. There are 8 kinds. They listen to a woman and enjoy her. See, same for the man. Man for the women, women for the man. It is page 701. You can read Gospel. So, to listen to a woman and enjoy the conversation is one kind, to speak about a woman is another kind, to whisper to her privately is a third kind, to keep something belonging to a woman and enjoy it is a fourth kind, to touch her is the fifth. Therefore, a sannyasi should not salute his guru, even young wife, touching her feet. These are the rules for sannyasi. This is the orthodox rules. If you go to some Shankar monasteries, we are little liberal because Ramakrishna came with the attitude, mother to see sister, our brother, our father, this attitude. So, and also we work in the society and we do mix with people, but it should not be in the level of worldly connection. If it is worldly connection, then it ruins your spiritual life. No. So the society, the world is full of such people. We don't need to add another group of people to do the same thing. No. Rather, this should be. That's why people talk about the Vedanta is pure Vedanta. This is called pure Vedanta. Anyone since, look at that. Suppose you are a lover of God. What will happen to you? If you really love God, we are reading the Bhakti Sutras. It is your heart and soul, everything will go towards God and God alone. Now, take this word. If you are a devotee, tasmin, it should, in him, in that reality, in your beloved Lord, the whole heart and soul go and enter there. If your whole heart and soul goes, where is the position of the world then? Either the world is not there or the world is God's world. So there does not come any question of your mind thinking in the pleasurable plane of pleasurable world or duality. So renunciation is the highest degree of renunciation. Sri Ramakrishna stand. Sri Ramakrishna was renunciate to the extreme. What he's saying, he's an embodiment of that. Even he cannot touch a coin. A coin was put by Swami Vivekananda to test him. Sri Ramakrishna sometimes used to, with the touch of coin, he will feel some scorpion biting pain. And Narendranath Swami Vivekananda, he thought it may be fake. He does it in front of others. Many fake people do, na? In front of others, ha 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 ha. But privately they enjoy. So he thought that maybe. So one day, that's why Vivekananda is tested for us, Sri Ramakrishna, day in and day out. So Ramakrishna, one day he was in Dakshineshwar and Sri Ramakrishna went to Mother Kali's temple. And when he went there and was saluting Mother Kali, he stealthily brought one coin and put it under the bed of mattress of Ramakrishna. Okay, Ramakrishna didn't know anything. He went to Mother and then came and then just simply taking ma, and then just sat on the bed and immediately jumped out and cried out. And as if his whole body is bent like that. And he says, my God, what has happened? Scorpion biting. I feel the scorpion biting. The scorpion biting is such serious. He feels the same pain with a touch not direct touch, under the quilt. And he sat only. Renunciation extreme. Renunciation extreme. Ramakrishna in the Dakshineshwar. Holy Mother has come. And his mind is where? Ramakrishna is he looks like an ordinary human, but where his mind? He thought where this Holy Mother, he can manage to keep her. So finding, okay, you have come after so many days, so come and stay. So Sri Ramakrishna staying and Holy Mother staying in the same room and the same bed. But what is the reaction, whole night reaction? Ramakrishna, as the night comes, Sri Ramakrishna goes into deeper ecstasy, deeper mood. So Holy Mother, seeing, she wants to sleep. But now and then Sri Ramakrishna is going into another mood, and hand is bending, this and that, and his body is becoming like a steel. So she got so upset. So she sometimes could not do. Then Ramakrishna came to know that, did you sleep well? Well, no, how can I sleep? Whole night you are doing like that. And I just 1 second I cannot close my eyes because this mood, this song, that song, whole night, God, God, God going on. And then he said, I teach you some mantras. When I do some chanting of Krishna, 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 or something like that, and go to ecstasy, then you will utter this mantra in my ear. Then I will come down. Okay. And if I go in Kali, 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 then you utter this mantra, I will come down. So Ramakrishna taught Holy Mother all this. But still, one day, one night, it happened, he's in such deep mood that no breathing and nothing. She got scared. At the middle of the night, she went where is Hridaya, called Hridaya and pulled him from her sleep. And then he came back and he knew, because he knew he was with Ramakrishna for a longer time. He uttered some mantra and something like that in the ear, and Ramakrishna's mind came down. So this is the husband and wife living in the same room. Look at that. Renunciation. What renunciation? Samadhi. Ramakrishna is in Samadhi, quick all the time. So Sri Ramakrishna is the epitome, ideal. That's why we say, Vanchana Kamo Kanchana. In every day, breaker of this world, then we chant. He has renounced everything, even the Kanchana and Kama, the desire, this pleasurable thing to enjoy, and the money, and he threw away the money and mud, saying, this is clay. Can it give me God realization? No. This is money. Can it give me God realization? No. So mud, clay and coin are the same. Taka, coin, is mati, clay. Clay is coin. He analyzed few minutes and threw away both into the Ganges. Someone was watching. Someone was watching, and then he said, why do you do that? You could have helped with the 1 rupee. Those days it was much valuable thing, not like today, no? So it could have helped some hungry people to eat. And what did you do? You threw away. Well, it is value for you. For me, it is same. It cannot give me God realization. It is meaningless for me. I don't care for that. See, renunciation. His whole life. And when someone asked Ramakrishna, who is Ramakrishna, to Holy Mother, Holy Mother said, many people say that harmony of religion is the contribution of Ramakrishna, no? And other aspects. But I say, renunciation is the glory of Ramakrishna. The world has never seen such renunciation. One day, Holy Mother was rubbing the feet of Sri Ramakrishna, no? And suddenly, Holy Mother asked Ramakrishna, what do you think about me? Wife asking the husband, no? What Ramakrishna's response? Instant. not thinking, not fumbling. He said, the mother who is in the temple, Mother Kali, the mother who has given birth to this body, Ramakrishna's mother, earthly mother, and who is stroking my feet, they are the one and same. So which level? This is called attainment. This attainment actually detaches everything. So he is the greatest example. But he is also telling that the ideal for a monk should be like that, high up. So don't mix up. But we may not be able to reach that, but ideal is ideal, to remind ourselves and to be careful about that. But the case is quite different with the householder. This is the ideal for the monk. But for the householder it is quite different. After the birth of one or two children, the husband and wife should live as like a brother and sister, giving a great ideal. You know, after a child is born, and you know, enjoy your worldly life little bit, experience that. But this is also for your God realization. Goal should be God realization. After that, then they should live like a brother and sister. The other 7 kinds of sexual intercourse, do not injure them such. For the monk, which injures, but the householders it is not, because they have a legitimate demand on each other and they are committed to each other. It's a one-pointed love. That's also one-pointed. They should be loving each other. That's why sometimes we define what is called the celibacy of a householder. Monk's celibacy should be absolute celibacy, no? But what about the celibacy of householder? They are loving one-pointed relationship with husband and wife. That is called celibacy for them. So this is the two ideal, but both are renouncing. Others are not following this formula. They are just like ordinary person in the world. No further goal, no higher goal. But for spiritual growth, these are the devotees. Devotees do. You can see so many wonderful families are there where they say, our example, our Govinda was there, who was our ex-president. He passed away recently. His wife, and they are very dedicated to each other. They used to come here. They are Prabhupada Swami's disciple. And they have two daughters only. And their whole family is God-centered family. If you go to India, you will find many, many. But here also, if we search like that, we find many.
With Holy Mother's disciple, that family, you saw then that woman got initiated.
Yeah, in YouTube you can find that I interviewed one old lady. She was Holy Mother's disciple. But she was a householder. And she lived a householder life. Husband, the daughter, son, etc., etc. And we saw her at the end part of her life. I do not know, after that interview, she may be alive another 5-6 years or sometime. He was staying with his son's house. No? But how, when she's talking about mother, she has become so pure, nothing of worldliness. You see her face is beaming with joy, and it is just mother. When she talks about Holy Mother, boom, she is not in the world as it were. So this you see how householder life also followed the principle of this restrained life of spiritual life. No? Then they will also reach the same goal. So that's why Ramakrishna said, this case is different with the householders. After the birth of one or two children, the husband and wife should live as brother and sister. The other 7 kinds of sexual intercourse, do not endure them such. A householder has various debts. Debt to the gods, to the forefathers, to the rishis. Devorin, Rishirin, Pitririn. Devo means we are here because of our forefathers. So you have a responsibility to remember them with honor and dignity. That is called the Pitririn. Then you have Rishirin. It is in India, everyone finds their root with the sages. In this country we find our root. If you go to the root, do you know? Now you can find your ancestor. A Mormon church has beautiful museum where they can find your root, your father, forefather, go. You can find the line where from your grandfather came, grand-grandfather came. That lineage you can find. But in Indian system, everyone, whoever in India Hindus, they will have their lineage. What is their lineage? Their lineage is which sage was the origin. Sages were married people, understand that. Sages are not monks. Those who wrote these Upanishads, those Upanishads are not written by monks. It is the revelation in the heart of the householders. And that sage, we belong to one lineage from that offspring. We are offsprings from them. So, you find your lineage in the Rishi or sages. That's why you are indebted to the sages. Every day you should honor them mentally, offer your oblation for the sages. So 3 dates we have. 1, we are here because of our fathers and forefathers. We are here because of the lineage from where our tradition comes. Which sage? They call Bharadwaj Gotra. What is the Gotra of Madhavi? Kaushik. So, that's the name of a sage. Everyone you ask any Hindu person, their origin, what is your Gotra? You don't know? You should ask your... Everyone has a lineage. That's why we are here because of that sage. That means your origin is from spiritual people who have realized God. And that tradition comes. And someone practice more, someone less, but you belong to that same family. Family tree, we call family tree. This is the family tree. And now, so you have 2 dates. So he says that we owe dates, and the dates for the gods, and to the fathers, and to the rishis. Because of God we are here. Of course, that's the first thing. So your first responsibility to honor, every day remember God, then your rishis and the fathers. He also owes a debt to his wife. He should make her the mother of 1 or 2 children and support her if she is a chaste woman. So that is also, it is a responsibility. A man should go and fun and enjoy, and that is not the life. You have responsibility for your wife and to take care of her, and so that she follows up, keep the tradition. That's why it is called the children are born in the family to maintain the tradition, the spiritual tradition of that family. It is not for other reason as we think now. There is no unwanted children. They used to pray to God to have a child. You know, Vivekananda is the greatest example. Vivekananda's mother prayed to Shiva. Oh Shiva, you give me a child like you. That was her prayer. And months and months, she prayed and fasted Ekadosi, not Ekadosi, more every day. Morning, not a drop of water till 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. And finishing the worship of Shiva is over, then she will eat. So it is coming out of prayer. These children are born out of prayer. That's why they are different. Not unwanted child. So this is the householder's dates. Householders do not know who is a good wife and who is a bad wife. Similarly, Vidya Shakti or Avidya Shakti. Similarly, men folks are same. There are some husband who can take you towards God. Some husband, they can take you towards the opposite direction. It is the same way. Here, why it is calling out the only women? Because advice is given to the men folks who are sitting over there. In this group, there is not a single woman. Naturally, Ramakrishna's advice goes to the people who are listening to and their problem and how they can overcome that. So that's why language is like that. If you read gospel from this perspective, then you will not misunderstand the message of Sri Ramakrishna. He is saying, householder do not know who is good wife, who is bad wife, who is Vidya Shakti, who is Avidya Shakti. Vidya Shakti means a good wife has very little lust and anger. She sleeps little. She pushes her husband's head away from her. She is full of affection, kindness, devotion, modesty, and other noble qualities. Such a wife serves all, look on all men as her children. Further, she helps increase her husband's love of God. She does not spend much money, lest her husband should have to work hard and thus not get leisure to think about God. See, Sri Ramakrishna's formula is all oriented towards God. Everything doing for that husband may get more time to think about God. If we can manage with the minimum, why we demand bring this, and then he will have to work longer hours. But now it's the same thing. Now, same women are working. Some men folks are like idle. They will be sitting and eating on wife's work, wife's earning, wife's labor. It's not uncommon. Some lazy guys, they get an opportunity. Oh, she has money. Okay, I can. So that is the meanness of that guy also. So it should be, see the qualities as written. What is Vidya? Vidya means that which takes us to knowledge. Avidya, that which takes us to ignorance. That which takes us to worldliness, that is avidya. And Shakti, both are Shakti, power. But one good husband will help the wife to meditate, to pray, to do spiritual practice. Good wife will influence the husband to do for meditation, prayer and this and that, not to think of the body much. They will. So they should be controlling and helping each other to grow in spirituality. Because Indians' total idea is God, God, God. How you can be spiritually elevated, that should be the central theme and focus of every practice. So you see, these are also, householder has to renounce so much. People think, oh, householder life is very more okay. See the responsibility. Responsibility of the wife, responsibility of the husband. That's why, if that type of relationship is there, this world becomes the home, becomes a spiritual home. I have seen such families where every child, seeing this parents' lifestyle, they don't fight, they don't argue, they are sweet and loving. As a result, the children are growing in that environment, no? And they learn chanting, they learn prayer, they learn sitting for meditation. Because mom and dad is sitting, what the child will do? He roam here and there and then see what mom is doing, sit like that, imitate them. And they grow. And their life is different, their growth is different. And that is to create ideal children in the society. Because good society is what? Good people. Good people does not drop from the heaven. It comes from the mom and dad. The good families who are dedicated, who are honest, who are sincere, truthful, hardworking, God-centered. So these are the... So, what is the way for people like us? Then Girish is putting that question. Because he is in the household life, no? And his life was little bohemian in character. So he is saying, then what is the way for us? Then Master says, Bhakti is the only essential thing. Bhakti has different aspects. Sattvika bhakti, Rajasika bhakti, and Tamasika. One who has Sattvika bhakti is very modest and humble. Bhakti, bhakti also three types. Because Sattvika bhakti will manifest in one way. Sattvika is that humble. That person will be very humble, very modest. But a man with a tamasic bhakti is like a highwayman in his attitude towards God. He says, "Oh God, I am chanting your name, and how can I be a sinner? Oh God, you are my mother, you must reveal yourself to me." That means he is saying that bhakti also expresses in different way. Sattvika bhakta will silently cry for God. Pray to God, "Oh Lord, I am your humble child, please help me. I have no devotion, no knowledge, please help." Ramakrishna taught us, "Oh Mother," that prayer, "I throw myself at your feet." No? I have no bhakti, I have no devotion, give me love, give me devotion. That's sattvika. And tamasika is that fighting. Yea, you are here, and I am calling upon you, you don't give it. That's true. Boom, as if. That's Girish Ghosh's bhakti. So, bhakti also will be three types. One is polite, humble, and modest, and another will be little fighting. Giri smiling. "It is you, sir, who teach us tamasic bhakti." The master then smilingly says, "There are certain signs of God vision. When a man sees God, he goes into Samadhi. There are 5 kinds of Samadhi. First, he feels the Mahabayu rises like an ant crawling up. Second, he feels it rise like a swimming fish swimming in water. Third, he feels it rise like a snake wriggling. Fourth, he feels it rise like a bird hopping, flying from one branch to another. And the fifth, he feels it rise like a monkey, making a big jump. And the Mahabayu reaches the head with one jump, as it were, and Samadhi follows." So it's a big thing. He went into how Samadhi happens. We can just know how it happens. It says 5 ways. The Upanishad also declares that. And we also read it. It is in the spinal column, Kundalini awakening. When it awakens, how it awakens, different ways. Here it says the 5 ways, Thakur said, because he has experienced all these. So one person have experienced all these. We read in the scriptures, so many scriptures, and he has in his one life, all scripture is in him. That's the beauty of Ramakrishna. He does not say anything, reading a book or keeping some note from somewhere. Everything he experiences himself. So he says the 5 type. One is like the Mahabayu, means the great spirit, wakes up like a ant. As ant goes, how ant goes? Slowly, creeping, going from one chakra to the other to the other, other to the other, other to the other, other to the other. No, it reaches the Mahabayu. Similarly, and he feels that fish swims like that, no? Joyfully. These are all also example of joyfully. The fish moves in the water, how freely, with freedom, with joy. Third, he feels like a rise in a snake. A snake also, wriggling motion. Snake moves. Fourth, he feels like a bird flying from one branch, hopping from one level to the another level to another level. And fifth, he feels like a rising monkey, making a big jump. The Mahabayu reaches the head with the jump, as it were. There are 2 other kinds of Samadhi. First, called the Sthita Samadhi, when the aspirant totally loses outer consciousness. He remains in that state a long time. It may be for many days. Ramakrishna stayed 6 months. In the history, we don't find any person can stay there for 6 months and come back.
Is that the same as
Jara Samadhi. But Jara Samadhi is not available for anyone but for this type of incarnation. It's called this Thita Samadhi. Here Ramakrishna says Thita Samadhi. And Unmana Samadhi. It is to withdraw the mind suddenly from all sense objects and unite with God. Suddenly it withdraws and goes into it. And here Sthita Samadhi is the another where the mind goes and stays there and does not come down so easily. And it said that if one goes there and stay for 21 days and don't come back, then he has no chance of his being again in the body. The body drops after 21 days. But normally people go, stay for a few minutes, few seconds, and then come down. The longer they stay, the greater is the spirituality. That's what we find in the Upanishads. Yajnavalkya went to a king's court, and King Janaka called a meeting of the great people, knowers of Brahman. He said, okay, here are so many knowers of Brahman sitting over here. Nah? And the king declared that I have 1,000 cows, and each cow, the horn is plated with gold plate in the horn. That means it's a costly thing. And these sadhus, these rishis used to come to the king. Why? To get some money. Why? They will have to maintain their disciples. Who will supply food for the disciples? Who will collect material for them? So the king should support. So they came, but that tradition was wonderful tradition. But they said, then Janaka said, but you are all Brahmagyanis. Who is the greatest among you? I am not going to say. You decide who among you is the greatest. Brahmavid, Varishtha, highest. Take my 1,000 cows with the gold plated horns coated with gold plate. And then Yajnavalkya, the sage, one of the sage, looking around, and no one is saying anything. Everyone gets dumbfounded. Who will tell I am the greatest? No? But Yajnavalkya was the greatest because he has the highest wisdom. So he looked around and don't find any competing person. Then his disciples were sitting. Then he said, my child, take these 1,000 cows and drive back to our ashrama. Then all other Brahmagyanis said, what? Are you the greatest among us? Well, no, I don't know that. I need some cows. I need some cows. That's why I am taking. Then he said, no, you cannot. You have to first say our question, address our question. Whether you are Brahmagyani, we will know. Then they started putting question, one question to another question, lower degree to higher degree to higher degree to higher degree to absolute Brahman. And he answered all these questions, and every other Brahmagyani saluted him, and you are the greatest among us. No? So it depends on that type of who is a greater developed spiritual personality. No? So there are grades of them. Some can go split second, come back. Many people had, I had a great vision. I saw mass of light. Maybe split second it has come and gone. Some may stay there maybe 1 minute. Some may 5 minutes. No? So depending on that is their gradation of their experience will be considered. Okay, so we end here today. So what we learned about renunciation, about the monks, we have discussed too much. Don't get frightened with it. Neither the householders' renunciation, what Ramakrishna said, not to be frightened about that. He has given a higher ideal. And now let us try as best as we can, but don't pull that down and say what I am doing, that is ideal. Huh? That's why Swamiji says, don't pull the ideal down to your level. Rather, you try to rise into the level of the ideal. Huh? Too easy thing. Easy thing is that to pull the ideal into my level. So be careful. So that is the teaching of Sri Ramakrishna, and ultimately what he said, that by bhakti we can conquer all our lust and things, whatever they are talking about, and living in an honest way in their household life also leads us to God realization, and lastly they can attain to Samadhi. That's why 5 types of Samadhi, and that can be achieved also. Hmm? Okay. So today there is no question. Very good. I have no questions. So tomorrow will be Swami Satyamayananda giving the class at 7:30 in the evening. His class is on Bhagavad Gita. So please attend that. And I end here with a chant. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu